Now, yes. Now audible? Okay, so is it fine? Perfect? Okay, so welcome to Unacademy NEET English. I'm your biology educator Ambika Sharma. So first of all, tell me, how are you people? How are you guys doing? Good, well? How are you people? How are you guys doing? Good, well, excited for the session. Today we are going to cover the phylum Chordata in detail, and you know that phylum Chordata up to class level is the part of our syllabus, and we need to understand the NCERT here, right? If we talk about the diversity, students, in the diversity there are so many things, right? There are so many things, but yes, you people need the limited amount of information that can help you to qualify your NEET examination. So this is what we are going to do today, because already so many examples are there in this particular phylum, right? So we will focus on the most important things. We are going to master the NCERT. Done? So this is the agenda for today. This is the class. This is what we are going to discuss today. Okay. So any doubt from the last class, any doubt from the sessions, from the topic that we have already covered, any suggestion that you want to give us, anything that you people want us to start, just tell me right now. Tell me right now. We always used to say, now this channel is for our students. Okay, so whatever you need, the way you need the things, we will try our best to provide you that. So tell me everyone, tell me, and hit the like button, share the video link with your friends as well, and please recommend this channel to your friends as well. Okay, because here you guys are going to get the quality content, all the important information that you need to qualify your NEET examination, that you need for your career, the motivation, everything you people will get on this particular channel. Okay, so let's start the class, but before that, let me show you something. Okay, so here you guys can see Unacademy NEET English, isn't it? Guys, we have launched one test series for all of you. Okay, so we have launched the test series for all of you, all India test series, and in this test series there will be, you know, different number of tests are there. We will tell you the syllabus, accordingly you have to prepare. The questions are very good. We have created the question for you people, so it is NCERT based, and it is very good for your revision, for your MCQ practice. So if you want to be the part of that test series, if you want to buy that test series, what you have to do, you can just go here in the description box, right? So here you guys can see it's all India mock test, right? All India mock test for NEET 2024. So we will even provide you the detailed solution. We will keep the classes to discuss the solution with you people. So what you have to do, you just need to add your number, you just need to add your email ID, and you people will get this test series at a price of 1499, right? 1499. More than 20 tests are there in this particular test series. Okay, so you guys are going to get your test soon. Wazeem sir has provided you the schedule. Just go and check that video, and still if there is any doubt in the comment section, you can tell us. And moreover, bache, if you want to join our NEET Energized batch, which is an entry point for the NEET Avengers batch, so please join it ASAP. Let me tell you students, right, from 1st August I am going to start plant physiology in that particular batch. This is what I want to tell you. From 1st August, I am going to start plant physiology, a very important topic. You guys can expect 12 to 15 questions from plant physiology itself in the NEET examination. Okay, and first, so in this month, we will start plant physiology in biology, and then after finishing it, firstly structural organization in animals, then animal physiology. So we are basically going to start your most important unit. So join the batch as soon as possible. Okay, join the batch as soon as possible if you are looking for a plan, if you are looking for a batch where, you know, your revision, your doubts, your mock test, where you will get everything. Okay, so be the part of this batch. Now let's talk about the phylum Chordata. Fine, so we are already done with the other phylum. So let's have a quick revision. Okay, let's have a quick revision. Okay, so bache, when we talk about the animal kingdom, you know that how many phylums are there? Let's have a quick revision. All of you, let's have a quick revision. Please everyone, just answer the questions in the chat section. I want you people to revert here in the chat section. Ma'am, I have paid for the mock test, but how to join the tele? Please consider. Subhashri will let you know about it. How many phylums are there in the animal kingdom? All of you, please revert. Exactly. So we have the 11 phylums. So can you write down the name of all that 11 phylums in the chat section right now? Can you just write down the name of these 11 phylums in the chat section? Yes, I challenge you to write the name of 11 phylums in the chat section and in a proper sequence. That is the condition, right? You have to write it, but in a proper sequence. Yes? Yes, there are many phylums, bache. You are right, Anantha, but you know that we are going to focus on these 11 phylums. It is a part of our syllabus as well. As I said, diversity. It's in the diversity. We cannot say that whatever you are studying, it is sufficient. No. If you will dive deep into the diversity, there are so many things. But ultimately, our focus is to qualify the NEET examination, and we have to prepare accordingly, right? So whenever we prepare for any of the competitive exam, there is a proper syllabus that we need to follow. There is a proper direction, and in the competitive exam they are not going to see your knowledge. No, they will see, are you able to apply that knowledge, are you able to handle the stress? So that is how you need to prepare. Clear bache? So animal kingdom mein 11 phylums are there. So how do we start? We start with the phylum Porifera. Let's have a quick revision. Phylum Porifera, then comes the Cnidaria, then comes the Ctenophora, okay, and then we have the Platyhelminths. Everyone just answer the things in the chat section quick. Then we have Esculminths. What do we have then? We have Esculminths. We have Annelida, right? We have Arthropoda. Fine, Annelida is there. Arthropoda is there. Then comes the Mollusca, right? Echinodermata, Hemichordata, and then finally what do we have? We have the Chordata. So up to Hemichordata we have already discussed in the last part. So today we will majorly focus on this particular phylum, that is Chordata. So as per your NEET syllabus, you have to discuss it up to class level. Okay, right? We have to discuss it up to class level. That is what you need to do. Now when you talk about these phylums, you know that it is the Arthropoda which is the largest phylum, isn't it? It is the Arthropoda which is the largest phylum, and it is the Mollusca which is the second largest phylum. It is the Arthropoda which is the largest phylum. It is the Mollusca which is the second largest phylum. This is what you need to keep in your head, and this is important as well. So when it is Arthropoda, the organisms with jointed appendages are present. When it is Mollusca, shell-bearing organisms are present. Clear, bache? So these things like exoskeleton in Arthropoda, the shell in Mollusca, it is providing the extra protection to these organisms. And yes, right, that is why we see a lot of number. That is why we see that they are so diverse. Okay, done bache? So this is what you need to remember. Now in Echinodermata, you know that there are certain characters which are kind of primitive but advanced characters as well, isn't it? In Echinodermata, no doubt in the adults the symmetry is radial, but you know that larvae is having the bilateral symmetry. In Echinodermata, mesodermal endoskeleton is there, right? Mesodermal endoskeleton. When you talk about the coelom, it is enterocoelomates. They are enterocoelomates, and they are deuterostomous. Remember, they are deuterostomous, right? So bache, I have given you a trick for it. Remember, I have given you a trick for it. Deuterostomous, the trick is bad. What's the trick? That is bad. Blastopore anus deuterostomus, right? Blastopore anus deuterostomus. It means that in deuterostomous organisms, blastopore is going to form the anus first. Blastopore is going to form the anus first, right? So these are the characters just like the advanced chordates, right? So now let's start phylum Chordata. Now what we need to start? We need to start the phylum Chordata. Okay, what we need to start? We need to start the phylum Chordata. So first of all, tell me, what is the meaning of Chordata? Do you know? Do you know the meaning of Chordata? Chordata. Chord. Cord means a string, a thick string. Okay, eta means to have. So these are the organisms that contain a thick string. This is what we can say. These are the organisms that contains a thick string. That is what we can say, isn't it? That is what we can say. Phylum Chordata. So in the phylum Chordata, the very important character that we all consider is notochord, right? Notochord, which is a mesodermal in origin. It's a rod-like structure which is mesodermal in origin. Okay, right? It is made up of what? It is made up of mesoderm. Notochord is made up of what? It is made up of mesoderm. It's a flexible rod-like structure. Okay, it's a flexible rod-like structure. Is that clear? That is what notochord is. Are you getting it? That is what notochord is. But bache, in the case of chordates, you have to consider 4 basic characters. See, in phylum Chordata, we are going to discuss subphylums as well. As I said, we are going to discuss up to class level. So obviously there are other flow charts that we need to memorize here in phylum Chordata. So that is why I have kept this session separately, so that you all can understand the phylum Chordata in detail. So you people can expect, let's say if in animal kingdom they used to ask you 3 to 4 questions. So yes, 2 questions can directly come from phylum Chordata, right? 2 questions means obviously 8 marks. We cannot compromise that. And sometimes more than 2 can also come, right? But it is like every time you will see the question will be there from the phylum Chordata. So please understand it properly. Okay. So mesodermal in origin, this flexible rod-like structure is present. So that is why we are keeping it in the phylum Chordata. But as I said, there are 4 basic characters that we always see in the case of chordates, right? There are 4 basic characters that we always see in the case of chordates. 4 basic characters. So of course the first one is your presence of notochord, right? No doubt, without any doubt, the first one is the presence of notochord, and the second one is presence of dorsal hollow nerve cord. Second is what? The presence of dorsal hollow nerve cord. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? These 2. Third is presence of pharyngeal gill slits. Isn't it? Presence of pharyngeal gill slits, and then there is the presence of post-anal tail. Right, there is the presence of post-anal tail. So these are the 4 basic characters of the chordates. You will get these characters in all the chordates. Either in the embryonic stages or in the adult stages, you are going to find these characters. Clear, bache? These are that 4 basic characters. So sometimes in that 4 basic characters, some students, they also consider heart is ventral, heart is dorsal. No, these are the 4 basic characters that should be there in the chordates, either in the embryonic stages, bache, right? Either in the embryonic stages or in the adult stages. Clear? Either in the embryonic stages or in the adult stages, you will get these characters in the chordates. Clear, bache? Clear, bache? 4 basic characters are there. Now, just look at this diagram. Okay? Just look at this diagram. It is important. So, can you see this? Can you see this notochord here? That's that tube, notochord. Mesodermally derived means it is made up of mesoderm. What is mesoderm? The germ layer. Okay, what is mesoderm? The germ layer. Now if you look at this nerve cord, obviously it is present on the dorsal side and it is hollow. Just consider the example of a bamboo. Just consider the example of a pipe. Right, in the surrounding there is a boundary, there is a covering, and within it, what is it? It is hollow, right? It is hollow. So dorsal hollow nerve cord is there, and these are that pharyngeal gill slits. They are paired, right? And this one is the post-anal tail. So remember, these are 4 basic characters. So if in the NEET examination, in the question they have mentioned 4 basic characters, so this is what you need to select. At that time, you guys cannot select the heart is dorsal and ventral. No, these are 4 basic characters. Clear bachche? These are 4 basic characters. This is what you need to understand. And as I said, gill slits are what? Gill slits are paired. Now bachche, on the basis of these characters, we even compare, right? We even compare your chordates and non-chordates. Like, see, in the NCERT there is a table given na? There is a table given na in the NCERT, where we compare the chordates and the non-chordates. It is given in your NCERT, please check it. In the chordates and in the non-chordates. So bache, when you talk about the chordates, other than these 4 characters, what you need to keep in your heart, keep in your brain, that heart here is ventral, right? We human being, you know that we are chordates. So our heart is on the ventral side. So in the non-chordates, if heart is present, okay, if heart is present, it is on dorsal side, okay, it is on dorsal side. Where will you get it? You will get it on dorsal side. Are you getting it? Are you getting it, bache? So heart is ventral. If heart is present, it is on dorsal side, right? If heart is present, it is on dorsal side. This is what you people need to take care. And this is also very important. Dorsal hollow nerve cord is present in chordates, and here again, if present, it will be ventral, it will be solid, right? It will be ventral, it will be solid, it will be double, right? We discuss it in the case of earthworm, we discuss it in the case of cockroach. Clear bache? Clear? So these are the characters where you need to focus. So you know, there was one question in NEET 2020, right? So in the case of cockroach, they were asking the point. So you should know that cockroach is a non-chordate. It belongs to phylum Arthropoda. So instead of instead of a ventral word, they have used the word dorsal. That in the cockroach, dorsal hollow, dorsal solid double nerve cord is present, which is incorrect. If it is present, it will be on the ventral side, right? If it is present, it will be on the ventral side. So kids, this is what you people need to remember, okay? This is what you people need to remember, okay? So here you know that pharynx will have the gill slit. That is why we say na pharyngeal gill slits. But here, no gill slits in pharynx, okay? No gill slits are there. Clear bache? No gill slits are there. So this is how you need to compare it. This is how you people need to revise it. Okay, done. So if there is any doubt in this part, in the chordates, in the non-chordates part, so do let me know, please. If there is any doubt here in these chordates part, in non-chordates part, so do let me know. Do let me know here. Quick bache, quick. Do let me know here. Right, then we need to start the next tables. Next flow chart. Okay. Done? Guys, is there any doubt? All good, all right? Okay, so next is phylum Chordata. Next is what? Next is phylum Chordata. Now in phylum Chordata, you will find 3 subphylums. What will be there in phylum Chordata? There are 3 subphylums in the phylum Chordata. So that subphylums are, see, the trick here is you can win. So for we, it's not W, it's we, right? It's we. You can win. This is what you need to remember. This, what is it? This is a trick for, yes bache, this is a trick for, tell me, trick for, yes, trick for the subphylums. So you can win. So what is the meaning of this? Let me tell you. So what I just said, subphylum. So U stands for Urochordata, right? Urochordata. C stands for Cephalochordata. Okay, and V stands for Vertebrata. Are you getting my point? V stands for Vertebrata. Are you getting my point? So what do we have here? You can win, Urochordata, Cephalochordata, Vertebrata. These are 3 subphylums that we need to study. Now bachche, when you talk about Urochordates, Uro means tail. Uro means tail. What is the meaning of Uro? Uro means tail. Trust me, this is something very interesting, right? When you see the examples of Urochordates and Cephalochordates, you are going to find them very simple. You will not even consider that, oh, these are the advanced organisms, right? You are not going to even consider them as the advanced organisms, right? Their characters are like this. You will see some adult forms are sedentary. They are not able to move, right? But still they are the chordates. Why? Because we have studied their embryonic stages. We have seen these points, okay? So now when the word is Urochordata, Uro means tail. Actually, for the phylum Chordata, like if you want to be the phylum Chordata, we need to satisfy these 4 characters, okay? If we want to be the part of phylum Chordata, we should have these 4 characters, and the most important is the notochord. Okay, the most important is what? The most important is the notochord. Notochord should be there, right? So now this Urochordata, these Urochordates, they are very smart. Okay, these Urochordates, they are very, very smart. These Urochordates, Uro means tail. So in their case, in larval stages, in tail region basically, in tail region, you'll find a rod-like structure which is notochord. Okay, in the Urochordates, right, only in the tail region, and even in the larval stages, not even in the case of adult bache, in the larval stages, in the tail region, you will see a rod-like structure, notochord, and on the basis of it, they got the entry in the in the chordates, right? They got their entry, they got their admission in the phylum Chordata. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Yes or no? Yes or no? Like for getting seat in the medical college, at least, right, at least you need to score 620 marks. Minimum 620 marks you need to score, then only you will get a seat in the medical college. Same is the case here. So they are like, okay, fine, I don't have very good marks, but in larval stages and tail region, I have this notochord. Now please allow me. Now please allow me in the phylum Chordata. So on the another hand, bache, if you will see the adult, in the adult there is no notochord. Are you getting it? In the adult there is no notochord. Are you getting it? Yes, everyone. In the adults, you are not going to find the notochord. Clear, bache? You are not going to find the notochord. Clear? Yes, is that clear? Tell me. Okay. Done. Fine. So now when you talk about these Urochordates, when you discuss about these Urochordates, so you should focus on one thing here, that in the larval stages, chordate like characters are there. Right now I am quoting the example of notochord, but it is not just the notochord, right? It is not just the notochord. Like when I talk about the Urochordates, but you understand it, everything is given in NCERT, you just need to understand the NCERT. So as I said, in the tail region you will get the notochord, but only in the larval stages. So here in the Urochordates, this is what we see, that larval stages, they are advanced. Fine, larval stages, they are advanced in comparison to the adult stages. Adult stages are primitive here, right? But larval stages are advanced here. This is the point that you should note down, that all chordate-like characters, like all that 4 basic characters are in larval stages only. They are in larval stages only. Are you getting it? And when you talk about this, right, when you talk about this, here in adult stage, only pharyngeal gill slits are present. What is present? Only pharyngeal gill slits are present. This is the only chordate-like character in the adult. Otherwise, all characters are primitive. Okay? And otherwise, all the characters are primitive. This is what you need to keep in your head. Now, see, larva is advanced. Larva is even motile. It is even motile. And this one is fixed. This one is sedentary. You know na? Fixed, sedentary, motile, fixed, sedentary, sessile. They all have the same meaning. right? So what I want to say here basically, see, I'll quote you one example. Let's say in class 10th you scored 95% marks, and in class 12th you scored 55% marks, right? Take it in this way. In class 10th you scored 95% marks, and in class 12th you just scored 55% marks. So are you progressing? Are you progressing? Yes or no? Is it your progress? Of course not, right? Of course not. It's your regression. You're not growing, right? You're not growing, it's your regression. So here in the case of Urochordates, this is what you need to mark. In the case of Urochordates, we see retrogressive metamorphosis. What we used to see? We used to see retrogressive metamorphosis. You know na, meta means change, morph means form. So retrogressive metamorphosis is there, means larval stages are advanced but adult stages are not so advanced. Larval stages are advanced but adult stages are not so advanced. This is the meaning of retrogressive metamorphosis. So this is what you need to know about the Urochordates, that notochord will only be there in the tail region. Is that clear, bache? Notochord is only there in the tail region. Is that clear? Is that clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay, retrogressive metamorphosis you will see here in their case. That's all. Done. So here even in the Urochordates you will see that externally, especially the adults, like when you talk about the adults now, you will see a kind of covering. What will you see? You will see a kind of covering. That covering is basically known as test or tunic. Yes, that covering is basically known as test. What is that covering? That covering is basically, yes bache, that covering is what? That covering is basically test. What is it? It is test, right? We name that covering as test, bache, right? Test. So along with test we also call it as tunica. Tunica word is also associated with the covering. You can call it as test, you can also call it as tunica. Tunica word is also associated with the covering. So obviously they will become what? They will become tunicates, right? They will become what? They will become tunicates. What are they? They are tunicates. Is that clear? Yes bache, is that clear? Right? They are tunicates. So this is about the Urochordates, where you guys are going to see the tunicates. These are the characters of the Urochordates, having what? Having retrogressive metamorphosis. What do they have? They have retrogressive metamorphosis. Only larval stages are having the advanced character, but not the adult stages. Now next is Cephalochordata. Cepphal word is associated with the head. It is associated with the head. Now in their cases, in the Cephalochordates, from head region to tail region. In the case of Cephalochordates, from head to tail, bachon, from head to tail, notochord is present. Not in just larval stages, but in the adult stages also, right? So from head to tail, notochord is present even in adult stages. Okay, even in adult stages. So of course here in the case of Cephalochordates, what will we see? We are going to see the progressive metamorphosis. This is something important, right? What will you see? You will see progressive metamorphosis. Is that clear, bacho? Is that clear? Is that clear? Yes or no? Now in the case of vertebrates, what will happen? We belong to this subphylum, the notochord, right? The notochord will become vertebral column. The notochord will become vertebral column. Is that clear? The notochord will become what? It will become vertebral column. So in the larval stages you will find this notochord, but later on it will become what? It will become vertebral column, right? Bache, in Hindi we used to call it as reed ki haddi. ठीक है, रीढ़ की हड्डी, right? So this is what you need to keep in your head. Now I told you the trick here is you can win. This is the trick here, you can win, isn't it? Urochordata, Cephalochordata. Remember this thing, bache. Urochordates and Cephalochordates, no doubt they are the part of your phylum Chordata, but they are primitive chordates. Okay, what are they? they are primitive chordates. They are not so advanced. They are primitive chordates. So we also call them as prochordates. Okay, and we also call them as acraniata. Acraniata means without cranium. What is cranium? Cranium is the brain box, right? Cranium is the brain box. It is going to protect our brain, right? In the skull, you know that na, 8 bones, they get fused, they form the cranium. That bones are cranial bones, right? So Urochordata and Cephalochordata, what are they, bache? They are the primitive chordates. Clear? So we also call them as prochordates and acraniates. That is, they are without cranium, they are without brain box. Done? And when you talk about this vertebrata, they are also known as craniata. They are the advanced chordates. They will have cranium. So what is this cranium? It is the brain box. Clear, bache? It is the brain box. It will protect our delicate brain. So any doubt here? Yes, any doubt here? So see the examples. See the examples of Urochordata, Ascidia, Selpa, Doliolum. Right, in Cephalochordata, what is it? The example is bronchiostoma. Right, the example is what? In the Cephalochordata, the example is the bronchiostoma. Clear, bache? Any doubt? Yes? Any doubt? Sure? Sure? Okay, so these 2 subphylums are also exclusively marine, right? These 2 subphylums are also exclusively marine. Like all the organisms are there in the marine water. Fine? In the marine water. Okay? In the marine water. Clear, bache? So then comes the vertebrata, where notochord is in embryonic period, which will be replaced by the vertebral column in the adults. Now this table is very important. Okay, this flow chart is rather very important. Bache, let's draw it with me. Okay, let's draw it with me. So we have sub-phylum Vertebrata, right? Also known as craniata. This is what we have. We have sub-phylum Vertebrata, also known as craniata. But here we will see 2 divisions. What are we going to see? We will see 2 divisions, 2 groups. One is Aganatha. Aganatha. Second is Gnathostomata. Fine. Second is Gnathostomata. One is Aganatha and another is Gnathostomata. Aganatha means without jaw. There will be no jaw, right? You know na, jaw. See, upper jaw, lower jaw. Upper jaw is made up of 2 bones by the fusion of 2 bones, 2 maxillae, and this one, the lower jaw, only movable bone of skull, that is mandible, right? It is mandible. So Aganatha without jaw, and Gnathostomata, of course, they have the jaw. Okay, they have the jaw. So obviously if jaw is not there, so imagine what type of organisms can be there. If we don't have this structure, let's say, imagine some circular structure will be there where, you know, some teeth are present, right? Where some teeth are present. So same is the case here. In the case of Aganatha, what do we have? There is one class. Can you name that? Yes, there is one class. Can you name that? Can you name that? Cyclostomata, right? Cyclostomata, isn't it? Right? Isn't it? This is what we have in the case of, this, isn't it? Yes or no? Cyclostomata. That's a class. That's a class basically. It's a class basically. What is it? It's Cyclostomata. But bache, there is another class, that is Ostracodermi. Right, what is it? It is Ostracodermi. I'm not saying that you people need to remember this, but yes, in the Aganatha 2 classes used to be there. One is Cyclostomata, which is the part of our syllabus which we need to study, which we need to revise. But when you talk about this class Stomata, it is extinct, right? It is extinct. We don't have any member of this class, right? Class Ostracodermi, because this class is extinct. Clear बच्चे? This class is extinct. Is that clear? Yes or no? Is that clear? And another one here is Cyclostomata. So cyclo word is related with the circular. So here what do we have? We have the circular mouth, right? What do we have here? We have the circular mouth. Is that clear? What do we have here? We have the circular mouth. Now Gnathostomata. Here we have two super classes. What do we have here? Two super classes. But many times students, they make mistake here. So just remember, these are two groups. See, NCERT divisions, Agnatha, Gnathostomata. Then comes the super classes. So these two are super classes. What is it? It is your, yes, it is your class Pisces, right? And class Tetrapoda. Class Pisces and class Tetrapoda. What do you have here? Class Pisces and class Tetrapoda. Class Pisces and class Tetrapoda. Now Cyclostomata, circular mouth. Here also you will see the fishes, the structure, the organisms that are having the circular mouth. But basically these are the false fishes. These are not the true fishes. Right? It's not a proper fish. It's not a true fish. These are the false fishes. But here in superclass Pisces, you're going to find the true fishes. Okay, this is what you will find here, the true fishes. So in Pisces there are two classes, Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes, right? But again here also one, right? Here also we have one more class which is extinct, that is Placodermi, right? Placodermi. So Placodermi is again extinct, so it is not the part that we need to discuss in detail, right? Just let me write it here. It's Placodermi. Okay, so Chondrichthyes, which include your cartilaginous fishes, Osteichthyes, that include your bony fishes. So these are the true fishes that we need to discuss. And again, the Placodermi here is also extinct. So this is the super class which include two classes, Chondrichthyes, Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes, Osteichthyes. Chondrichthyes, cartilaginous fishes, Osteichthyes, bony fishes. Chondrichthyes, cartilaginous fishes, Osteichthyes, bony fishes. These are the points that you people need to take care. Okay, this is important. You should know which one is a super class, which one is a division, which one is a class. Fine? Fine, Aarti. So here in the Tetrapoda, what is the meaning of tetra? Tetra means four. Poda, four limbs. So organisms having four limbs. Tetrapods, these are the organisms having four limbs. So here you will have, yes, Aram, A-R-A-M. Right? In a sequence you need to remember this, bache. In a sequence you need to remember this. Tetrapoda, four limbs. How many limbs are there? Four limbs. It is having Aram, A-R-A-M. A-R-A-M. So A stands for your amphibians, R stands for reptiles, Reptilia, A stands for Aves, then comes the Mammalia. These are the tetrapods. Have a look. Okay. So Pisces, which bear fins, here they bear limbs, so it's Aram, A-R-A-M. Amphibian, Reptilia, Aves, Mammalia. Amphibian, Reptilia, Aves, Mammalia. Amphibian, Reptilia, Aves, Mammalia. Everyone clear? So I told you about the two extinct classes here also. So one is Ostracodermi, one is Ostracodermi here, and here this extinct class is Placodermi, right? So it's PCO. Done? It's PCO. Placodermi, Osteichthyes, Placodermi, Chondrichthyes, Osteichthyes. Placodermi, Chondrichthyes, Osteichthyes. Right? So, done, bachi? Done? So here you have the false fishes, and these are the true fishes. These are the true fishes. Clear? So focus on these flowcharts and then the examples. Done, bache? Done. So now let's revise it very quickly. Let's, without wasting any time, let's revise it very quickly, bache. So Cyclostomata, cyclo means a circular. So what you people are going to get here? You will get the circular mouth here. What will you get here? You people will get a circular mouth here, right? So circular mouth will be having, you know, small teeth like this, right? They do not have proper paired fins, if you will see. Okay, and see, these organisms, they are even the ectoparasites. Do you know the meaning of ectoparasite? Ecto means outside, parasite, which is dependent on another organism for the nourishment. Okay, which is dependent on another organism for the nourishment. So sometimes there are some large fishes, okay, some big fishes. So these small fishes with their circular mouth, they get attached to that large fishes. So whenever that large fishes eat something, you know, leftover food will be eaten by them, right? So that is how they work. Sometimes they are just attached to their body. So they are ectoparasites also, and the organisms of this particular class can be squengers also, right? They can be squengers also. So you guys can see ectoparasites on some fishes, sucking and circular mouth without jaws, okay, because they are agnatha. Clear? They are agnatha. So it is without jaws. So body is devoid of scales. This is something important, bache. So you should know these points. You need to compare them. Okay, you need to compare them. You need to know these points. So what do we have here? Body is devoid of scales, means scales are not present. Clear? Scales are not present. Then body is scaleless. On the another hand, when you will compare it with Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes, you people will see the scales there. Okay, you guys will see the scales. So gill slits are present. Cranium and vertebral column is there, but it is cartilaginous. Again, a very important difference, bachcho. It is cartilaginous. Circulation is closed. They are marine, but they move to the fresh water for spawning and die after a few days. So basically, in the case of Cyclostomata, you will see the migration, right? What will you see? You will see the migration. What you people are going to see? You people will see the migration, the movement. There are two types of migration in the fishes. Okay, one is sea to fresh water, right? Another is fresh to sea water, right? Another is fresh to sea water. These are the two types of migration. So now this is your homework. Okay, this is your homework. There is a proper name for these migrations. When fishes, they move from sea to fresh water, sea water to fresh water, there is a proper name for it. And same way, when the fishes, they move from fresh water to the sea water, there is a proper name, proper term for it. So that's your homework. You will write it down in the comment section. Write bache, that what is the proper name of these migrations. Clear? Clear, bache? So migration for spawning. Now what is the spawning? Obviously the release of gametes, right? It is the release of gametes. Okay, what will be there? The release of gametes. So they used to migrate to fresh water, from marine water to fresh water for spawning, and then they die after a few days there. Obviously after that the larva will form, right? It will come back to the fresh water. But here, bache, you need to remember two things. See, two examples are given in NCERT. That's important. That's important. Two examples are given in NCERT. One is petromyzin, lamprey. Another is myxin. Another is what? It is myxin. One is petromyzin, also known as lamprey. Another is myxin, hagfish. These two examples are given. So these two examples are itself, they are exceptions. Petromyzin, another is myxin. One is petromyzin, another is myxin. So what is the point here, bachcho? Usually in the Cyclostomata, larval stages are absent. Let me tell you, larval stages are absent. What is absent? Larval stages are absent. Remember this point. But in the case of petromyzin, larval stage is present. So it's a kind of exception, yes or no? It's a kind of exception, yes or no? Tell me. In the petromyzin lamprey, right, which is your lamprey, the larval stage is the M.Sc larva is there. M.Sc larva is there. Yes or no? M.Sc larva is there. Let me write down the name. So of course it is an exception, right? Now this myxin, which is also known as hagfish, this hagfish, it is also an exception, right? It shows no migration, right? It shows no migration. So bache, it is a previous year paper question. It's a previous year paper question, right? If you will solve the PYQs on this animal kingdom, you will find this question. They have given many options, right? They have mentioned the name of the organisms which used to show the migration. So myxin was also there. So sometimes what happened, we think that myxin, right? Myxin is the part of Cyclostomata, so definitely it will go for migration, but it is not like that, right? In the myxin, it shows no migration. Clear, bache? Myxin, it shows no migration. Is that clear? Yes or no? Yes or no? So it will remain attached with the gills of the host and it is not going to show the migration. Clear, bache? Clear, bache? Sure? Sure? So only 2 examples are given in NCERT and these 2 examples are important. Fine? Fine, bache? And yes, in Cyclostomata, you people will see that there will be 5 to anyone? 5 to dash pairs of gill slits. Can you tell me? In this is important. See, in the case of Cyclostomata, paired fins are absent. That is why we don't even consider it as a true fish, right? Paired fins are absent, and even pair of gill slits, they are anyone. Very good, bache. 5 to 10 pairs of gill slits are present. So these characters are important. So yes, that's my advice for animal, even for the diversity. Overall, no doubt in biology we go for the NCERT only, but sometimes you know, for understanding some topics, like in the case of plant physiology, like in the case of animal physiology, you need to go beyond NCERT. Okay, you cannot be just dependent on NCERT, you have to go beyond NCERT. But for the diversity, please, 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 just revise it from the NCERT only, because there are so many examples, you guys can get confused. So it's better to focus on the NCERT only. And try to make the notes, bache, try to make the proper notes. Okay, like see in the Cyclostomata, circular mouth, 5 to 10 pair of gill slits, paired fins absent, migration is there, right? You can put them and then you can write down the examples. In the examples, these exceptions are important because it has been asked in one of the questions. Okay, so read NCERT, practice questions. Read NCERT, practice questions. That will be more than sufficient for the diversity. And I hope you all have seen my video, right? Yesterday I have posted something. Wait. So yes, this is the video that I have posted, bache, the 9-month strategy. Okay, the 9-month strategy to score 360 out of 360 in biology. Do check it out. In this particular video, I have explained that in upcoming months, right, what you should do, how you need to finish your syllabus, right, how you need to revise, everything I have mentioned there. So do check it. Fine, do check it. And ultimately, it is the NCERT which you need to master. Okay, it is the NCERT which you need to master. Clear, bache? Clear? Sure. So write down these important points. Okay, write down these important points there. Clear? So now we will follow only NCERT. We will write down all the points from NCERT only, and whatever is extra I will mention there. Okay, so just open up your NCERT and note down. So phylum Chordata clear? The meaning of phylum Chordata clear? Right? So hollow nerve cord, paired phalangeal gill slits, all done. Right? So this is the diagram. Again, they can ask you for the labeling. So always remember, this upper part is, this is nerve cord, the hollow, dorsal hollow, and this one is the notochord, gill slits, and post-anal tail is there. Clear, bache? So this is that comparison table. Notochord present, notochord absent. Right? Central nervous system. This point is very important. Dorsal, hollow, and single. It is dorsal, hollow, and single. But here in non-chordates, central nervous system is ventral, solid, and double. It's ventral, solid, and double. Is that clear? So pharynx is perforated by gill slits absent. Heart if present, oh, in the chordates you will see the heart. It is ventral. Here if present, it will be dorsal. Post-anal tail is present, post-anal tail is absent. But always remember that 4 characters that I have mentioned in the starting, they are the main 4 basic characters of the chordates. Is that clear? Yes? Yes, bache, is that clear? Done? Sure? Sure? So see here, Urochordates and Cephalochordates both are protochordates. Oh, I think I mentioned it as prochordates. No, it's protochordates and acraniata. Okay, let me rectify this here. It is protochordate and acraniata. Okay, protochordate, protochordates and acraniata. Clear, bache? So they are the primitive chordates without brain box, without cranium. Right, without brain box, without cranium. So these two subphylums, they are exclusively marine. Can you write down the name of the phylums which are exclusively marine? Can you write down the name of the phylums that are exclusively marine? Phylums that are exclusively marine. Yes, be quick. Please be quick. Do you remember this? Yes or no? Of course, Ctenophora, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. Right, Ctenophora, Echinodermata and Hemichordata. These are three subphylums which are exclusively marine. Right, and the phylums, sorry, subphylums which are exclusively marine, they are your Urochordata and Cephalochordata. So in the paper, if there is a question like this, do read it carefully. Are they asking chordata or are they asking phylum or the subphylum? That's important to know. Fine, that's important to know. They can even ask you the class, but you know that only in the phylum chordata you have to study up to the class level. Clear, bache? Done? Sure? So that type of notes should be there. Right? Right, many times students used to ask me, ma'am, how to make the notes for the biology. Everything given in NCERT is very important, so how to make the notes, what to write in notes. We always say, bache, you can check any video, right, not just me. You can check any biology educator, they will say one thing only. The notes should be, they should be short, right, short notes. Brief points should be there. It should not be detailed like long lines you are writing. No. To the point you have to mention it, right? So basically what you people are understanding from a particular topic as per your understanding. Consider yourself as an examiner, that I am the examiner. If I will be the examiner, what type of question I can ask, right? That is how you have to make the notes. Like if you will ask me, if you will see my notes in the phylum Porifera, what I have mentioned, pore bearing organisms, the symmetry, the germ layer, then exceptions I have mentioned, the examples I have mentioned, choanocytes and water canal system highlighted for the quick revision. But yes, you have to read the NCERT as well, because with that you will get to know that okay, fine, fertilization is internal here, fertilization is external here, right? And for animal kingdom, please do this. Like here I have mentioned exclusively marine phylums, exclusively marine subphylums. Same way, write down the phylums or the classes in which only sexual reproduction is there, no chance of asexual reproduction is there, right? That is what you guys can do. Write the special characters of all the phylum, that is what you can do, right? So that is the best way to revise the animal kingdom, that is the best way to make the notes for the animal kingdom. Fine bache? Done. So protochordates, and they are exclusively marine, which is something very important. So in Urochordates, notochord is present only in the larval tail, while in Cephalochordates it extends from head to tail region. Okay, and it is persistent throughout the life, so it will stay throughout the life, not just in the larval stages. Clear, bache? Not just in the larval stages. Clear? So examples are important. Urochordata, Ascidia, Selpa, these are the examples, also known as tunicates. Doliolum is also the example. Cephalochordates, Branchiostoma, which is also known as Amphioxus or lens-slit. Right? Its structure is something like this. That is why it is also known as lens-slit. Done, bache? Clear? Okay. So I think if you guys have seen the previous year paper, if you have solved the previous year paper, you know that statement based question and the assertion and reason kind of questions used to come. Now see, in the phylum Chordata, ultimately notochord should be there. That is what we have discussed, or that 4 basic characters should be there. Now bache, in the case of Urochordata and in the case of Cephalochordata, Notochord is present, but vertebral column is not present. Notochord is present, but vertebral column is not present there, right? And when you talk about the vertebrata, in the vertebrata, you will see that notochord will form. In the vertebrata, you will see that the notochord will form vertebral column. Notochord will form vertebral column. Is that clear? Right? The notochord, it will form vertebral column. Isn't it? So can I say that all vertebrates are chordates? Ultimately they come under the phylum Chordata, so they are chordates. But all chordates are not vertebrates. They do not have the vertebral column, so they are not vertebrates. Isn't it? Isn't it? All vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. All vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Is it clear? It's a previous year question. And all chordates are, all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. This is the line. Okay? Done? Sure? Very good, very good, very good. So this is what you guys can see here. So vertebrates, they possess notochord during the embryonic stages only, right bache? It will be changed, it will be replaced by cartilaginous or bony vertebral column, right? Cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. So that is why all the vertebrates are chordates, but all the chordates are not vertebrates. So such type of statements where thus is given, because is given, right, they can be asked as assertion and reason. Okay? Okay, Soumyadeep, they can be asked as assertion and reason. So in addition to the basic chordates characters, vertebrates, they also have ventral muscular heart with 2, 3 or 4 chambers. They have kidneys for excretion, for osmoregulation, and they have paired appendages that can be fins or limbs. That can be fins or limbs. This is what you need to remember. So again in the NCERT, it is given in a very simple language, right, that besides the 4 basic characters. So if in the paper they are asking 4 basic characters, now you know what you need to mention. Okay, chalo. So now the next question, this is the Accidia, the diagram, and we are done with this table. Now let's talk about the Cyclostomata from the NCERT. Okay, so we will revise now. The Chondrichthyes, Osteichthyes, amphibian, reptile, apes and mammals, we are going to revise it from the NCERT only, and whatever extra points are there, I will tell you. Clear, bache? Clear? So they all are ectoparasites on some fishes, I told you. So they have 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits, not the 10 pairs, 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits are there, right? 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits are there. This is important. This point is important. Right? They can confuse you. They can even ask you the number of gill slits in the Pisces also, in the Chondrichthyes or in the Osteichthyes also. So that is what you people need to take care. So cyclostomes have a sucking and circular mouth. We are done with it. No scales are there. No paired fins are there. Another important point. No scales, no paired fins are present in the case of your Cyclostomata. So cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. They are not bony. You will see bony structures in the bony fishes only. Okay, circulation is closed type. They are marine. They migrate for spawning. I told you already about these examples. Clear, bache? Clear, clear, clear. So it should be your agenda. Ma'am, when the session will end? But Shri Harsha, don't worry, we'll end it before Wazim sir's session. You don't worry about that, okay? You don't worry about that. Is that clear? So cyclostomes are marine but migrate for spawning to the fresh water. Clear, bache? Clear? None? So examples are important, and try to remember the examples are here in this class only. Now, the next is Chondrichthyes. Chondrichthyes, cartilaginous fishes. What do we have here, bache? Cartilaginous fishes. So now their endoskeleton is not bony, it is not made up of bones, it is made up of cartilages, right? Cartilages. You know, shark, scalodon, dog, shark, okay, which is, you know that they are the predators, but again when you look at their body type, right, it is cartilaginous, it is not bony even. Okay, and moreover you will see the swim bladder in the case of Chondrichthyes, it is absent. No swim bladder means they cannot, right, they have to move always, right? No swim bladder means no buoyancy, they have to move always. Fine. Heterocircle tail is there when you talk about the Chondrichthyes. Mostly we will see heterocircle tail, the tail fin is not divided equally. Such characters we need to mark. Okay, so Chondrichthyes, they are marine with streamlined bodies having cartilaginous endoskeleton. So this point is very important, bache, that mouth is located ventrally. You must be thinking that why, ma'am, why this point is important? Because in the paper they can ask you the comparison in between Chondrichthyes and Osteichthyes. So these are the points that you people need to mark. So here in the case of Chondrichthyes, mouth is ventral. I am comparing it here only. Osteichthyes are bony fishes where endoskeleton is bony, and when you talk about the mouth is terminal, right? Mouth is terminal. Here it is ventral, right? Ventral. Otherwise in Osteichthyes, mouth is terminal. Now notochord is persistent, it will remain throughout the life without any doubt. So gill slits are separate and without operculum, right? Gill slits, slits means opening. We are not talking about the gills here, these are the slits, right? These are the gill slits. Okay, these are the gill slits, openings are there. So they are without operculum. They are without operculum. What is it? Without operculum. Now again in Osteichthyes, if you will read the same point, you will see that gill slits are covered with operculum. So they are with operculum. Clear, bache? They are with operculum. Clear, bache? Clear? So skin is tough. It is containing minute placoid scales. Again a very important feature of Chondrichthyes, right? Operculum, bache, gill slit is covered with operculum, a covering. Shri Harsha, that's a covering. Okay, so placoid scales are present, and these placoid scales, they are dermal in origin. They are made from dermis. They are dermal in origin. What are they? They are dermal in origin. And when you talk about the teeth, teeth are modified placoid scales which are backwardly directed. Again a PYQ. So if you will solve the previous year questions from the Animal Kingdom chapter, you will see the maximum questions are there from the Phylum Chordata, and moreover bache, you know, each and every line of the NCERT is asked as a question. Fine. So their jaws are very powerful. These animals are predaceous. Due to the absence of air bladder, they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. So yes, in the case of Osteichthyes, swim bladder is present. Okay, swim bladder is present. Clear, bache? And in the case of this Chondrichthyes, you will see claspers in male. Right? In the male, this claspers are present. They are meant for copulation, means help in sexual reproduction, obviously, help in opening of female genital openings, help in the help to open up the female genital openings. Okay, claspers are present, and here Chondrichthyes, they are viviparous mostly. They give birth to the young ones. Fine, mostly they are viviparous. They give birth to the young ones. These are the important points that you need to take care. Right, Chondrichthyes, they are also known as elasmobranchs, and your Osteichthyes, they are teleosts, right? They are teleosts. Clear, bache? So any doubt? Yes, any doubt? Done? So now come to the gill. Okay, come to the gill slits also. So first of all, see, heart is two-chambered, right? Heart is two-chambered. Two-chambered heart is there. It is also known as, bache, venous heart. What is it? It is also known as venous heart. Please mention these points in your NCERT. Right? Kindly mention these points in your NCERT. So they are having venous heart, means heart pumps deoxygenated blood. In the case of fishes, gills are meant for oxygenation. So heart is going to pump the deoxygenated blood only. Okay, it is going to pump the deoxygenated blood only. So that is why we also call it as venous heart. And in the case of heart, it is not just one auricle and ventricle. 2 accessory chambers are also there, bache. Right? In fishes, 2 accessory chambers are also there, which is your, yes, sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. Okay, sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. So in the heart, 2 accessory chambers are there. So as I said, some organisms, right, they will have electric organs, torpedo. Some of them are having poison sting, trigon, right, bache? So electric organ, torpedo. See, many times now students, they get confused in these 2 examples: torpedo, trigon, torpedo, trigon, trigon, gun, G, stingray, right? Poison sting, poison sting. This is how you guys can remember. It's trigon, G. So sting it is. It is sting, stingray it is. Torpedo, pedo, edo, E, electric organ. That is how I remember. So maybe it will help you out to remember this, right? Trigon and torpedo. So they are cold-blooded, poikilotherms. So now you know that, bache. It's a very basic question. Your birds and your mammals, your aves and mammalia, the members of these 2 classes, they are warm-blooded only. They are homeotherms only. Otherwise, these organisms are what? They are poikilotherms. What are they? They are poikilotherms. Poikilotherms means cold-blooded. Means they cannot maintain constant internal conditions, right? Right, their internal condition, they changes with the ambient temperature, with the ambient conditions. Okay, so they cannot maintain the constant internal condition, right? So sexes are separate. That means they are dioecious, of course. Unisexual they are. Males may pelvic fins bear claspers, helps in copulation. So they have internal fertilization, and many of them are viviparous. So you cannot say that all of them are viviparous. Many of them are viviparous, means they will give birth to young ones. Okay, they give birth to young ones. That is what you people need to remember. Done? Now, scoliodon, dogfish, shark it is, Indian shark it is, pristis, it's the sawfish, right? Bache, pristis is the sawfish. In the pristis na, the rostrum, it looks like a saw. So that is why we call it as sawfish. That is why we call it as sawfish. Okay, Carcharodon, great white shark, trigon, stingray. See, trigon, gun, G, it's stingray. Clear, bache? So you know that examples are very, very important here. Okay, so just see this pristis, the sawfish. So bache, in the paper na, they can ask you this question. I think I told you before. Like, let's say they are asking you out of silverfish, out of devilfish, out of your sawfish. One another example. Let's say out of these 3 fishes, which one is a true fish? So the answer will be sawfish. It is a true fish because it belongs to superclass Pisces and to class Chondrichthyes. Clear, bache? And to class Chondrichthyes. Done? So this one is a true fish, the sawfish, pristis. Okay, it is what? It is pristis. Now come to the Osteichthyes. Okay, bony fishes they are bony fishes. So they are not just in the marine water, they are in the fresh water also. And you know that they are edible also, isn't it? So they have bony endoskeleton, body is again streamlined, mouth is mostly terminal. So you cannot say that mouth is only terminal. No, mostly it is terminal. Mostly terminal. It can be, you know, in the case of Chondrichthyes, it will be ventral only. But here it is terminal. Majorly, what is it? It is terminal. And I hope you remember that in the case of Osteichthyes, they are known as teleostomy. Fine, teleostomy. Done, bache? Done? So mostly it is terminal. So 4 pairs of gills are there which are covered with operculum. How many pairs of gills are there? 4 pairs. Right? How many pairs of gills are there? 4 pairs. And here, yes, bache, 5 to 6 pairs are there. This is important. Okay, so 4 pairs of gills are there in your bony fishes and 5 to 7 pairs are there in your Chondrichthyes. So that is how you need to compare it. So this is important. 4 pairs. are present, and they are covered with an operculum. They have the covering. And when it comes to the scale, bache, scales are cycloid, ctenoid, and in some cases ganoid scales are there. So basically body is having scales. So it can be cycloid, right? It can be ctenoid, like some teeth like structures are present, and it can be ganoid. Okay, so it varies. Different type of scales are present. Clear, bache? Air bladder is present, so that is why it can regulate the buoyancy, so they do not, swim all the time. Heart is again two chambered. Two accessory chambers are present here, that sinus venosus and truncus arteriosus. They are also cold blooded, means poikilotherms, means ectotherms, right? Ectotherms. So sexes are separate here. Fertilization is usually external, mostly oviparous, right? They are egg-laying. Fine, they are egg-laying. And development is direct, means no larval stages. Clear? No larval stages. So example is Exocetus, bache, which is flying fish. Now here the fins, because they have paired fins. So here fins, right? The fins are modified. They look like a wing. So Exocetus, it is the flying fish. And you know na bache, hippocampus, which is also the seahorse. Hippocampus. So hippocampus is the only organism on this planet Earth where, male is pregnant. Do you know that? We'll see the pregnant male here. We'll see the pregnant male here. You know na, hippocampus is having a brood pouch. So females, what will they do? They are going to lay their eggs here, right? So male sperms are present, they will fuse. So father is going to take care of the baby, right? It is the father who will take care, right? Father is going to take care of that baby, right? So here it is, so you will see in the animal kingdom, it is the hippocampus where male is pregnant. Okay, where male is pregnant. Done. So freshwater fishes are Labiorohita, Catla, Clarius, which is your catfish, and aquarium fishes are your betta, and this Pterophyllum, which is known as angelfish. Clear, bache? Again, examples are important. Examples are important. Achha, you were not aware of this hippocampus wala thing. See, brood pouch will be there in the case of males, and in that brood pouch, that babies will grow, right? Shri Harsha is like, why not females? Bhai, females are taking care of everything, na? So, theek hai, at least hippocampus is like, okay, fine, I'll take the responsibility. I appreciate the male members of hippocampus. Male hippocampus, I really appreciate them. So, here you guys can see the catla, and here the scales are present. Fine, body is having the scales. So, just look at it. See some points to compare. So mostly internal fertilization, external, viviparous, oviparous, right? Here you will see electric organ and that poison sting, but such things are not there in the Osteichthyes. So this table will help you out to revise it quickly. Fine. So next is tetrapods, where we are going to talk about the amphibians first. You know that amphi means dual, right? So they, now see, fishes are aquatic. Now animals, they are evolving. They are taking a step towards the land habitat. Okay, they are taking a step towards the land habitat. So they are moving from water to land. So amphibians, they try to, right? The amphibians, they try to take a step towards the land habitat, but they are not totally, right? Totally the land animals. They need water for the sexual reproduction. Fine, bache? Fine. Then comes the reptilia, the successful land animals. They have tough skin, right? Tough skin, dry skin. Okay, so they have all the adaptations so that they can survive on land. They have the pair of lungs. The skin is tough, right, bache? So thick skin is there. It can conserve the water in the body. Then comes your Aves, include birds, and then mammals. So we are the part of the class Mammalia. Okay, we are the part of the class Mammalia. Done, bache? We are the part of the class Mammalia. So now let's revise it from NCERT. So here we go. So as the name indicates, amphi means dual, bio is life. So dual habitat they have. They can live in aquatic as well as terrestrial habitats, right? As well as terrestrial habitats. Clear, bache? So they have two pairs of limbs. Of course, body is divided into head and trunk. You are not going to see the neck here. You will see head and trunk. What will you see here? Head and trunk, and tail may be present in some, may be absent. Actually in class Amphibia you will see the orders. 3 orders are there. Anura, right? Apoda, Urodela. Do you know that there are 3 orders? Basically in amphibians you will see that some of them are having tails, some of them are tailless. Like Anura, they are tailless. What are they? They are tailless. They do not have the tail, like your frog. Frog is the representative animal, na? Frog is the representative of this particular class Amphibia, isn't it? Frog is the representative of this particular class Amphibia here, right? So Anura, tailless. One is Apoda, another is Urodela. Urodela, tailed apoda without limbs. So in the amphibians we are also having the examples where that organisms is without limbs. So example is Ichthyophis. It looks like, you know, it looks like a reptile, not skinny, its skin is moist now, so it looks like the Annelida sometimes. A kind of worm-like body is there, right? A kind of worm-like body is there, but actually it is limbless. It is an amphibian. This example is very important. Okay, so tail may be present in some. Amphibian skin is going to be moist, so no scales are present. This is important. Now Cyclostomata, no scales. Pisces, scales are there. Amphibians, no scales. That is how you need to make the note. So whatever points, you know, I'm mentioning right now, please note down, right? Please note down. Clear, bache? So eyes have eyelids. This is for the first time we are going to talk about it. Now you can see the evolution, na? The characters are getting better. We are moving from simplicity to complexity so that they can survive in an efficient manner. Okay, so here you will see the tympanum. Tympanum represents the ear. You know that tympanum means middle ear. So basically in all the organisms, living mammals, you will see the middle ear only, internal and middle. In our case we have this pinna, we have the external ear, but in their case what do they have? They just have the middle ear, right? So alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts, they are open into a common chamber, that is cloaca. You will find the same chamber in the reptiles, right? See, alimentary canal, urinary bladder and reproductive tract, they all will open in a common chamber, that is known as cloaca. What is it? Cloaca. We will use this word again. We are going to use this word again. Okay, so this cloaca will opens to the exterior. So respiration, in the case of gills, in the case of amphibians, it is of different types. See, they can use the gills as well, they can use the lungs as well, they can use the skin as well. And in the case of frog, you will see buccopharyngeal respiration as well. From buccopharyngeal cavity, they are going to exchange the gases. Fine. So if gills are involved, bache, the respiration will be branchial. If lungs are involved, the respiration is pulmonary. And if skin is involved, the respiration is going to be cutaneous. So in the amphibians, you will see the diversity here. So see, gills, lungs and even through skin. And as I said, in the case of frog, we even have the buccopharyngeal cavity from where this gaseous exchange will take place. Clear, bache? So heart is 3 chambered here, 2 auricles, 1 ventricle. 2 auricles, 1 ventricle. Fishes, they have 2 chambers only. The venous heart is there, which will pump only the deoxygenated blood. A very important point. Here, the heart is 3 chambered, 1 ventricle is there. So they are cold blooded, again poikilotherms. Sexes are separate, dioecious, fertilization external. They will also do the spawning. So they are egg laying organism, oviparous, no larval stages are present. Clear, bache? So bufo, the toad, the rana, frog, rana tigrina, Indian frog. Hyla is the tree frog. And one flying frog is also there. Soumya, flying frog is also there. Can you name it? Rhacophorus it is. Flying frog, Rhacophorus. You will see, right, when you talk about the limbs in that frog, you will see that here in the digit some web-like structure is present. Okay, the web-like structure is present. And then the salamander, the tailed amphibian, okay, and then the Ichthyophis, limbless amphibian. The examples are important. right bache? Examples are important. So salamandra is there, ichthyophis where limbs are absent, right? So as I said, development is indirect, means larval stage is present. None bache? Fine, larval stage is present. Amphibians, amphibians. So write down in NCERT, when it is salamandra, the larva is axolotl larva, and when it is frog, Rana tigrina, the larva is tadpole. Okay, so you will see the larval stages. And you know, sometimes in this axolotl larva you see a property of neoteny. Do you know that, bache? Neoteny. Anyone in the class, are you aware of this word neoteny? It is also the sometimes now some organisms in their larval stages they become sexually mature, right? Gonads grow. In their case, they acquire that gonads, they become sexually mature, right? So that property is neoteny. When larval stages, when larvae they acquire the gonads, they acquire the sex organs, right? Then we call it as neoteny, right? So this is extra. You want to note it down, you can. You want to leave it, you can. It's your wish. And bache, to remember the examples, right? What you have to do, you just need to revise it again and again. That is the only way out. Okay, that is the only way out. You have to revise it again and again, right? Again and again you have to revise. So see here, salamandra, the frog, tadpole larva, and here it is axolotl larva. Done, bache? So next is reptilia, the successful land invaders, right? So reptiles, it means creeping or crawling mode of locomotion is there. Creeping and crawling, and you will see the examples where, you know, limbs are not even present, like snakes, right? We have the example of snakes here. Okay, so this reptiles, this repair word means, repta means to creep or crawl. So mostly terrestrial, bache, body is covered by dry and cornified skin. That dead skin is there, that, right, which can conserve the water, because they are living on the land. So obviously they need to acquire the water in their body, right? Right now, see here, I'm not telling you about the nitrogenous wastes also. With time I will tell you. Like you will see in these animals, those who are aquatic, they have ammonia as their excretory waste, which is highly toxic, which needs excess of water for its removal. Now these organisms are moving towards the land habitat, right? They are moving towards the land habitat. So obviously if they are moving towards the land habitat, they need to acquire the properties by which they can conserve the water in their body. That will be good for their survival, of course. They need it, they have to do it. Okay, so here the body is covered by dry and the cornified skin. Epidermal scales or scutes are present. Like in the case of Chondrichthyes, I told you dermal scales are there, placoids are there, but here the scales are epidermal. So they do not have external ear opening, means only tympanum is representing the ear. Tympanum is representing the ear here, right? Limbs are present. There are two pairs, they are absent also. Heart is 3-chambered, but this is an exception. Crocodiles having 4-chambered heart, right? This is an exception. Crocodile is having 4-chambered heart. So in the case of reptiles, bache, you will see the 3rd chamber, right? This ventricle is partially divided. These ventricles, they are partially divided. So obviously if it is partially divided, oxygenated and deoxygenated blood can get mixed here. Okay, right? Like in the ventricles, you will see it's partially divided. You will see some septum here. So obviously the oxygenated and deoxygenated blood is not separated. It gets mixed. Okay, it gets mixed. Done, bache? So do you know the trick for this? Lord, left side is having oxygenated blood. Right side is having deoxygenated blood. Okay, right side is having deoxygenated blood. This is what you need to remember, right? So blood will get mixed here. So they are also cold-blooded. Snakes and lizard, they can shed their skin cast. Do you know what is the word for it? It is ecdysis or molting. right? So even in the case of snake, even in the case of lizard, you will see that they, you know, shed off their skin. Snake caste is very common, very common. In Hindi we used to call it as kenchuli, right? Snakes, they shed off their skin, right? You can see it clearly. So that process is ecdysis or molting. Of course, hormones are required for it, right? That process is known as ecdysis or molting. What is it? Ecdysis or molting. Is that clear? So sexes are separate, again dioecious, fertilization is internal, although they are egg-laying, and development is direct. So this is important, right? Even we humans, you know, we shed off our skin. In winters we see na the dry skin, it gets removed. Okay, so this process of, in the case of snakes, it's very it's very, you know, common in the case of snakes, the skin cast. So this is ecdysis or molting. So examples are there, bache, chelon, which is a turtle, testudo, which is a tortoise, chameleon, the tree lizard, calotus, garden lizard, crocodile, alligators, and hemidactylus, wall lizard is there. And poisonous snakes are naza, that is cobra, it's naza, and bengaris, crate, viper or viper. These examples are important, right? Examples are important. And I'll add one more point here. Do you know in the case of reptile, the only poisonous lizard is Helodema. Helodema is the only poisonous lizard. Otherwise lizards, they are not at all poisonous. So only poisonous lizard is this Helodema. Note down. Only poisonous lizard it is. And do you know, bache, what is the difference in a turtle and a tortoise? Right? You know na, for their protection, they have a kind of shell that is known as carapace. Right? Have you seen a tortoise ever? So they have a shell, a very hard shell, right? Very hard shell in which they will cover themselves. So it is carapace. That shell is basically known as carapace. And do you know the difference in this turtle and tortoise? In the case of turtle, because they are aquatic, so you will see that digits, they are fused. Right, the digits, they are fused. There is no gap in between. The digits, they are fused. But in tortoise, there will be the gap. Okay, there will be the gap in between. Clear, bache? There will be the gap in between. So ultimately, this is what you need to remember. And bache, do you know the difference in a frog and a toad? Anyone? Do you know the difference in between frog and the toad? If you know, very good. If you don't, try to find it out. It's very interesting. Right? Check out the difference. It's very interesting. See the diagram. So chameleons, right? The crocodiles, crocodilus, the chelone, where this carapace is there, and this is a snake, naza, which is poisonous. Okay, which is poisonous. So next is bache aves. Of course, the birds, right? So they are homeotherms. They are warm-blooded. Fine, they are warm-blooded, and they are endotherms. They can regulate their constant internal condition. In the case of birds, you will see for flying there are many adaptation. The keel sternum is there. The hollow bones are there. Right? The hollow bones are there. The keel sternum is there. In their case, the forelimb, it will have the feathers. So feathers are going to cover their body. It is a very unique character of the birds. Okay, presence of feathers, it's a very unique character of the birds. Okay, so aves are the presence, aves, the most important feature, as I said, is the presence of feathers, bache, which is going to cover their body, right? So we will see the feathers, and most of the birds can fly except the flightless birds like ostrich, right? Like ostrich, they are the flightless birds. Okay, so they are, in their case, you know that jaw, right? Now I don't think that I need to explain it in detail because we have seen the words, right? We have seen the birds, so we know their structure, isn't it? So they, in their case, the jaw is modified into beak. Okay, the jaw is modified into beak. In their digestive system also, like the arthropod, you will see the crop and the gizzard, right? Crop and the gizzard. Gizzard is for grinding the grains. Crop is for the storage of that, right? For the storage of that grains. So you know that in their case, the hind limb will have the scales, which is modified for walking, swimming, or clasping the tree branches to hold them like this. So skin is dry, without glands. They just have one oil gland, which is also known as tail gland, which is also known as uropygium. right? Europygium. Sometimes, you know, birds, they bend their neck, you know, they try to touch their tail feather, and you know, then they try to touch their body. Have you noticed it ever? The birds, they bend their neck and they touch their body slowly. So basically they are doing the oiling. They don't have the glands, they have just one gland, uropygial gland. Okay, which gland is it? It is uropygial gland. It is in the tail region. Clear bache? So endoskeleton is fully ossified, it's bony, but the bones are pneumatic here, right? Bones are pneumatic here, means hollow bones. So their bones are having ear spaces. What will you see in their bones? You will see ear spaces. So in the case of birds, in the bones, bone marrow is not present. Okay, in the case of birds and the bones, because they are hollow, ear spaces are there, so bone marrow absent. Bone marrow is absent. Like you can say that few bones are having bone marrows, but not all the bones are having bone marrow. Clear bache? Done. So digestive tract, as I said, crop and gizzard is there. Heart is 4-chambered. They are warm-blooded. Homeotherms they are. Right bache? They can maintain constant internal temperature. So respiration is by lungs, but they have ear sacs also. Like this is the diagram. See, in the case of birds. So to this pair of lungs, right, additional ear sacs are attached. So bache, ear sacs are not meant for respiration. They are not helping in exchange of gases. They are not doing that exchange of gases. Nope. But what will they do, bache? They will supplement the respiration. Now you know they need to fly. So no doubt the air is there in the lungs, the air is there in the air sacs. So when they are flying, the air sacs will provide the air to the lungs. So air sacs are not going to exchange the gases, but it will supplement the respiration. It will provide it to the lungs basically. So it's a kind of unique feature in the case of these birds. It is also a part of that flight adaptation in the case of birds. Okay. Done bache, in the case of birds. So they are again, you know that oviparous, development is direct, no larval stages. So Corvus, Columba, right? These are the examples here. So you need to you should know the zoological name as well, the common name as well. In 2022, bache, if you will check the NEET paper, so they just ask the questions on the basis of examples only. Like falling under the group of the animals, out of it, which one is having crop and gizzard? Right, and they have given the three examples there, A, B, C, D. So you should know the examples. I know it's very difficult to remember the examples. So every day, right, still we have 9 months, right? We have 9 months. So obviously if every day, let's say today you have decided I will remember all the examples of porifera. Give it a try, right? In a month you will be able to remember all that examples. You can mug up these facts, you can mug up these examples. Revise them again and again, okay, done. So next is what? Next is Mammalia. The important character here is the presence of mammary glands. So in the case of females, you know that they are functional, right? They are meant for the breastfeeding. And even in the case of mammals, we will see the hair, nails, horn, characters like structures like this for the protection. Hoofs, okay, hoofs are also there. Right, so mammals, you know that they are present, even mammals are present everywhere, right? Even they are aquatic also, flying mammals are also there. They are living on the land as well, okay, living on the land as well. So see, even they are in polar ice caps because of their adaptations, of course, deserts, mountains, forest, grassland, dark caves. You will find them everywhere, okay. So they are even adapted to fly or live in water. Flying mammal is bat, okay, and here dolphin, isn't it? Dolphin. So unique character, you know that the presence of milk producing gland, mammary glands, right? They nourish their young ones. And in the mammal also, bache, you will see some are advanced mammals, some are primitive. So primitive one may, we still have the examples of egg-laying mammals. Do you remember? Egg-laying mammal. Any example of egg-laying mammal? Remember which is duck-billed platypus, ornithorhynchus. So it's a duck-billed platypus, which is a connecting link in between mammals and reptiles. Right, connecting link between mammals and reptiles. But it is not just the only examples of egg-laying mammal. One more example is there, right? So these are the prototherians, kind of, you know, primitive mammals they are. Done, bache? These are the primitive mammals. Clear? Clear? Prototherians they are. Ornithorhynchus, duck-billed platypus. One more example is there. One more example is there. You need to check it. You need to check it. Some, you know, related to ant-eater. Just check that example. That's your homework. So they are prototherians, right? Primitive mammals which are egg-laying. So you know that in the mammals we see the placenta as well, that intimate connection in between the mother and the fetus. Okay, so they are eutherians, the advanced mammals. Clear, bache? Clear, bache? So 2 pairs of limbs are there, adapted for walking, running, climbing, burrowing, right? Skin is unique. We have the hair, right? External ear is present in the case of mammals. See, in all the classes, external ear was not there, but we have this external ear, right? We have this external ear, and different types of teeth are there. Sometimes heterodont dentation is there in the case of mammals. Heart is 4-chambered. Warm-blooded we have lungs. We are dioecious. Fertilization is internal, and we are viviparous. Okay, we are viviparous. Clear, bache? Clear, bache? So oviparous example is your Ornithorhynchus, duck-billed platypus, which is a connecting link in between reptiles and birds. Rest are, these are viviparous, right? And they all are eutherians, right? They all are eutherians. Clear? They all are eutherians. So these are the examples that you need to focus. Okay? So in the mammals, remember even the cranial nerves, 12 pairs of cranial nerves are there. So you can also include such characters. Okay, like fishes, amphibians, even in reptile I guess 10 pairs are there, and then in aves and mammals 12 pairs. Right, fishes and amphibians, they have 10 pairs. For the reptiles I need to check it again. Okay, I need to check it again. So this is all about the phylum Chordata. Okay, so see, this is the flying, this is your pteropus, your flying mammal. Okay, so see how the forelimb is modified. This is patagium. Patagium, skin is modified, it is forming a wing. In the case of bat, the feather is not there. Feather is the character of birds. So here that is the membranous extension. This is patagium. Patagium is the word that we use. See, this is kangaroo, right? This is the duck-billed platypus. Okay, so this is dolphin. Fine. So rest bache, with the help of this table you can revise the characters. I hope it is clear to you all, right? Start revising this bache. Just take the target of 1 month. Every day you just need to give your 20 minutes to remember the examples. Every day, just 20 minutes. Dedicatedly for 1 month, give 20 minutes, right? Mark my words. Mark my words. You'll be so fluent with these examples. Trust me. Okay. Chalo. So now answer the question, then we will end the class, and then your Wazeem sir can take the session, right? So here we go. An important character that hemichordates share with chordate is. So answer the question and then bye bye. Animal kingdom is over. So tomorrow at 5 p.m. bache, there will be the one shot of cell cycle. Okay, one shot of cell cycle will be there. Done? At 5 p.m. tomorrow. So I want to see you all there, and day after tomorrow at 3 p.m. again, right, top 100 questions of diversity we are going to practice. Fine, top 100 questions of diversity we are going to practice. So now answer this question. Important characters that hemichordates share with chordate is. Important character that hemichordates share with chordate is. It's easy. Yes. What is the correct answer? What is the correct answer here? So of course pharynx with gill slits, right? It is pharynx with gill slits. Done. So pick the correct statement, bache. All Pisces have gills covered by an operculum. All reptiles have a 3-chambered heart. All cyclostomes do not possess jaws and paired fins. All mammals are viviparous. You need to pick up the correct statement. Correct. Here also the correct answer is C, that all the cyclostomes, they do not possess jaws and paired fins. Next question, a jawless fish which lays egg in fresh water and whose ammocetus larva after metamorphosis return to the ocean is? Yes, ammoset larva. This ammoset larva is present in? Yes, everyone. The answer is petromyzon here. Clear? So that's all, that's it. Bache, I'll share the PDF in the Telegram group. You guys can join my personal Telegram group as well. That is Love Biology by Ambika, and Unacademy NEET English also. That is our official Telegram channel, right? So you guys can join that too. Done? So I'll share the PDF in the Telegram group. Fine. So let's meet tomorrow at 5 p.m. So it is the one shot of cell cycle and cell division, where we will cover the cell cycle, mitosis and the meiosis. Done, bache? The mitosis and the meiosis. Clear? So take care. Bye bye. Thank you so much. After it, bache, we will start cell.